Oh, Steven, is there anything better than schedule release day?
No, thinking of it, no. Nothing better than the schedule release for a football season that doesn't start for 4 months.
Damn straight, my man. It's finally here.
Mm-hmm.
The 2024 NFL schedule release is here. I'm assuming you're watching the live coverage on NFL Network, all 4 hours of it right now, Steven, instead of live sports, correct?
Correct. I am not tuned into any baseball, basketball, nor hockey. It is all NFL, NFL, NFL all the time because that's what the NFL wants. They want world domination. It's a cult, and I'm in the cult.
There you go. See, you just need to get with the program, Steven. Everything else, sports-wise, does not matter. It's all about football.
Where'd you get the Valkyries merch?
I will get to that in a second. Is your mic on?
Oh, I hope so. Is it not?
It kind of sounds a little weird.
Oh, no, it's not. Oh, how about this?
We got to start the schedule release show all over again.
How about that? I accidentally had the mic going through my camera.
Yeah, it sounded a little funky.
All right, let me recreate everything that we just said. Yes, Derek, I am so excited for the schedule release with a schedule that for a sport that's 4 months away. I have been watching NFL Network endlessly. As a matter of fact, I tuned in yesterday. I'm like one of those campers before a Taylor Swift concert. I camped out just to watch NFL Network, just to get ahead of it before the schedule was released.
Well, there's a lot of Swifties that are NFL fans now, Steven. So yes, you are bought in. And here we go, baby. The NFL schedule release. What's going on? Just your opinion, man. Stephen Langford, Derek Papa. I know it's ridiculous. I know this whole thing's ridiculous. I don't watch the 4-hour schedule release show. I'm just glad the goddamn thing's out so we can just make our plans for the football season. That's really it.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, you do get to create your travel schedule, especially the people who go to every one of these games. There are some diehard fans of every team that travel with the team as if they're like a boy band. So I get it. I get why it's done this early. I just think with all the fanfare, there's a little too much made of it because it's just a schedule. And really where I start to get angry is when we start making predictions based off of the schedule.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I'm not all about on May 15th going through each schedule being like win, as Greg will do tomorrow on his radio show.
Yeah.
But it's just good to have the schedule to know like what the national TV schedule is going to be, what the Christmas Day schedule is going to be, Thanksgiving, everything, who's playing week 1. I like all that stuff. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm not watching the 4-hour NFL Network thing right now. I got the NBA playoffs on, but it's good to talk about the schedule. So I'm down.
You've been looking forward to it, man.
I am, man, because that's the part. Yes, I agree with you. They make too much of this thing, so when they delay it, it's like, let's just do this thing already. What the hell are we doing? I will say this. The leaks this year, pretty good. Like, in years past, people have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, whatever you want to call it, schmeckeldorfed. It's
Schmeckeldorfed?
It's from SpongeBob, Steven. This year, there was one account, NFL Schedule Update, that had a whole grid, and I was looking at the schedule. And I talked to somebody that works with the Niners, not my father, and I sent it to him. I was like, is this accurate? Before the schedule came out. He looked at it and said, yep. So the leaks were on point this year, actually, which was kind of surprising.
Yeah, that's another thing that gets me about this schedule stuff. The leaks. Here's a leak. The schedule. It's a schedule. There's no surprises. It's not like there's a leak about a player being on the move or a player's disgruntled with his team and wants a trade. There's nothing like that.
There's phony reports sometimes.
Well, why? Why do you have to report on a schedule?
Because, dude,
it's going to happen anyway.
I know, but the NFL hypes this shit up, and then there's some people that make these stupid accounts that get our hopes up and say, this is who they're playing week 1. This is what I've heard. It's all bullshit. But this one account was well prepared this year.
Well, joke's on you if you fell for a schedule leak because you're looking
years past. I haven't years past.
Schedule leaks.
Well, what do you want me to do, Steven? The whole Elon has fucked up the whole Twitter X thing where my algorithm gets this stuff. Maybe that's on me.
No, fair point. Blame Elon Musk. I like that. We'll blame you.
There we go. All right, we'll go through the whole schedule, the whole entire NFL schedule right now, baby. No, we'll go through Raiders, Niners, holiday, national TV, games of interest. We'll even go through some of the videos for the team's social media accounts that we liked. But before all that, yes, Steven, I am rocking the Golden State Valkyries merch because it was handed out at KMBR. But they're called the Valkyries. Tom Tolbert nailed it. I brought it up on this podcast a couple months ago. Brian Schneider came on with us and announced the Golden State Warriors getting affiliated with the WNBA. And Tom was like, I'll throw you a name, the Valkyries. And Brian Schneider was like, I like that. Tom may have known beforehand. Who knows? But when I brought up the name on this podcast, you said, I don't like it. No one knows what a Valkyrie is. So what do you have to say for yourself?
I said that?
You did.
Damn. Take that back.
But no, dude, I mean, it's good to have another team in the Bay Area. I will say, I was under the assumption this team was going to be called Oakland Valkyries. That's what I thought. Wasn't it presented that way when the report came out, the press release came out, that there's going to be a WNBA team in Oakland? It's going to play at Chase Center. I've come to terms with that now. But I was under the assumption that this was going to be called the Oakland Valkyries because they're going to have their facility in Oakland. It was supposed to be an Oakland team, but I don't think that's the case, really.
Yeah, their practice facilities there. Why would they call it Oakland?
I go back and look at the press release. I'm pretty sure it was announced as if it was going to be an Oakland team. And I will say, it was going to be an Oakland team playing at Chase Center. But I get it. It's part of the brand. Golden State Warriors, Golden State Valkyries. All good. I just would have liked it if they played at Oracle, but whatever.
You got to get over it, man.
I will never get over it. And you're going to see me at the Ballers games. And probably you too, sir. And by the way, those tickets were not sold out. There's still plenty of tickets for the opener for the Ballers. And did they add more seats to the arena, or not the arena, sorry, the stadium, or just more availability?
They'll do that next year. They're looking to purchase all those seats that are just literally sitting in the south lot of the Coliseum. All those extra 5,000 seats that they used to bring on for the Raider games. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And sweet deal. Like the Ballers, people, kind of laughed at it initially, and I get it. It's an independent league team, but they struck a TV deal. They're going to be on CBS, KPIX this season.
Yeah, at least a few games. Is every game going to be on KPIX?
I don't know if every game's going to be on. Maybe. That'd actually be pretty cool. With Vern Glenn going to be on the play-by-play?
Should be. Should be him.
Love Vern Glenn. All right, let's get into the schedule, Steven. Want to start with the Raiders?
Sure.
You want to pull it up? You want me to pull it up?
You can.
All right, then. Let me share my screen, and we will get down to business with the Las Vegas Raiders 20. The video's playing. Hang on. Let me get to the schedule. Here we go. The Las Vegas Raiders 2024 schedule. And look at this preseason. They're playing the 49ers once again. Greg will have a good time with that. So the Raiders are going to open the season in Los Angeles against the Chargers with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind because the day they play, Steven, it's not just going to be someday. It's going to be that day. Did you see Jim Harbaugh's press conference?
Oh boy! What? No, I didn't. What was that? What happened?
He was talking about rookie minicamp, and he was like staring at the ceiling at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I thought to myself, it's not just any day; it's today.
Yeah. He's a strange one, man.
He is definitely strange.
I don't know if I noticed it back when he was with San Francisco or Stanford, but I got someone at the station who really worked with Stanford and in the press conferences and stuff. He's like, no, yeah, Jim was like that. He's been like this the entire time. Yeah. This is who he is.
I didn't notice it before either because when I was younger, I was just watching football. I wasn't wrapped up in the press conferences and everything. But now that I'm in the media, I pay attention to that shit. But yeah, back to the schedule. So the Raiders open up in LA against the Chargers, which they did, I think, a couple of years ago. The first year with Devontae Adams and Josh McDaniels, they lost that game. But they'll go against the new look Jim Harbaugh Chargers. And the Raider fans will probably take over that stadium. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to lead to a win. Then they go to Baltimore. So 2 games on the road to start. You could say the Charger game is kind of a home game, but still, nonetheless, they are on the road. And then they travel to Baltimore to take on Lamar Jackson, the reigning MVP. Always difficult. I think the Raiders have only beaten Baltimore in Baltimore one time in history. Then they go to Carolina, home game against. Oh, sorry, they're home against Carolina. They'll be on the road 3 weeks in a row. Week 3, they're home against Carolina. Then they're home against the Cleveland Browns. Then they go to Denver for week 5. Then a good old school rivalry. Week 6, they play the Pittsburgh Steelers. Week 7, they go back to LA to take on the Rams. Could be another Raider invasion there. Week 8, they are home against the Kansas City Chiefs. Week 9, I hate this back-to-back weeks, Mahomes and Burrow. They go to Cincinnati week 9. Then they get a little bye week. Then they go to Miami. Then they play the Denver Broncos on week 12. Then, first nationally televised game of the season for the Raiders, they play the Kansas City Chiefs in KC on Black Friday. So they will be part of that game. Kind of lame, I got to say. What, Tacky going through this whole thing just to say they're going to lose every game? This son of a bitch. Just noticed it right now. Eat shit, Tacky. Get out of here. Who invited you to this thing? But to me, like, it's Black Friday. Couldn't they have flip-flopped? Couldn't the Raiders have been home for this game in their black jerseys? It's Black Friday. Am I just being too nitpicky here?
You're being a little nitpicky, yeah.
Okay. Black Friday. Raiders, whatever. Okay. And then they go to Tampa, week 14. There's only 2 nationally televised games for the Raiders this entire season. Week 15, Monday Night Football, they play Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons. Maybe still Kirk Cousins at the point. We'll see if it's Michael Penix. Week 16, they play the Jacksonville Jaguars. Then they go to New Orleans to take on Derek Carr that late in the season. Hopefully it's still Derek Carr at that point. And then week 18, they are home against the Chargers the same way they opened the season up. Steven, your thoughts on the schedule?
It's a schedule. That's for sure. No, like I'm questioning this Raiders team going into this season, to be honest. Like, with the amount of, well, hang on, we can keep it back up here.
No, sorry, okay.
Jesus, a little quick with the trigger.
I got pay attention to you.
Hello.
What?
I'd say, as far as the most daunting stretch, I think leading into that bye week, going in that altitude at Denver, then traveling back home to face a very tough Steelers defense. Then you're going down to LA to take on the Rams. Then you're back home for Kansas City. Then you're in Cincinnati to take on the Bills. That's a really rough stretch right there. And if you're looking at the first 4 weeks, Chargers, Baltimore, Carolina, Cleveland, I mean, what? You feel good about beating Carolina, maybe? We don't know what the Chargers are going to look like week 1. They're probably not going to really live up to their full potential until later on in the season, just because it's a first-time head coach and no wide receivers. Are going to have to figure that out. Their offense is going to be going through some growing pains. So that first half of the schedule is pretty daunting. And really, by the time week 10 comes around, we could be seeing this team as one of those who, that's November 17th, November. I mean, what is that going to be the trade deadline? Is that the week? Is that the week of the trade deadline? Their week of the bye week? I gotta look that up.
Week. What was it? Week 10.
October 30th or November 5th is when the trade deadline is set.
Yeah,
and
so a little earlier.
LA and Kansas City stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this team's schedule, if I got to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, opening up the road 2 weeks in a row is not great. The thing that stood out to me, and maybe it's just because I always expect there to be, the Raiders are I still believe one of the marquee franchises in the NFL, regardless of how, I mean, yes, they have been bad, but they still like to put them on national TV. I was a little surprised they only got 2 nationally televised games, but that may just be because they have Gardner Minshew as their quarterback, so maybe it's not the sexiest team going into the season. But
no
yeah.
one's, dude. It's crazy. There's what was the over under? I think I mentioned it on the last podcast. The over under for their win total at some sports books is like 6.5, 5.5 even.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they're expecting this to be a 5-6 win team this year.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. I
don't think we're in for a great season, man. I mean, they might have some flashes here. You know, Antonio Pierce might show the feared Raiders, and you know they might come out with this brand of toughness that we're just not expecting. But Vegas isn't expecting the Raiders to be that good. The schedule, it looks, I'm not going to say it's daunting, because what you got, the AFC South, the NFC South, and what the AFC North, you're getting the Browns and the Steelers. I don't really know, in the AFC North as a whole, I don't really know what to make of it, to be honest. And by the way, the schedule video, I don't consider it a schedule video. All right. That was a Raiders promo video that you could play on the Jumbotron, and they just attached the schedule to the end of it.
Can we watch it?
And it's not really entertaining. It's literally just a promo video where these fans are narrating the autumn win is a Raider. And then you have Antonio Pierce come up at the end. It's literally a promotional video that you could put on the big screen before a game. It's probably what they're going to use. They might double it as something to use pre-game to get the fans all hyped up. It's the new version of Ice Cube going, Raider Nation. It's a new version of that. Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, yeah, I saw the caption was no gimmicks. So they don't want to fuck around with the other social media teams and their buffoonery, I guess. But I guess is it better than a year ago when Jimmy Garoppolo did that video? He's like, grapes?
It's much better than that. Yes.
Okay.
They embarrassed themselves with
I see you're a little distracted. Something happened in the Giants game. Is another injury going on?
Luis Matos robbed a home run, but it looks like the trainer's out.
Oh boy.
And he's in bad shape. So another outfielder going down, but he looks okay. It seems like he's all right. It seems better. It's not like, damn, what a catch. He has not been good in center field so far. So that's nice to see him do that. Finally get something to pick him up. God, that's right where Jung-Hoo Lee got injured too. Damn.
Yeah, not a lot of cushing in center field at Oracle Park.
It's not exactly It's not exactly Aaron Rowan running face first into the chain link fence when he was with the Phillies, but
that's true.
Looked like it was painful.
Yeah, we'll get to the Giants a little bit later, but yeah, Steven, I mean, I don't know how this Raider team is going to perform this season, so that may be a apt over under this season, but just looking at the schedule, yeah, it's difficult. This is a difficult schedule, but they're all difficult, I guess. You're playing against NFL teams. The question I have for you: what are the chances December 16th, their Monday Night Football game against the Falcons, that it's Kirk Cousins playing quarterback for the Falcons?
That's the thing. I think you're catching the Falcons at a time where there's going to be some dysfunction. I don't care what Kirk Cousins is saying, how he's going to take the high road. In his gut, he is seething at what's going on. Like, I'm sorry. Any quarterback who goes out there and says all the right things, I gotta win this competition. Now I got this guy waiting behind me. I gotta step my game up. Yeah, I don't believe that. At some point, they're probably going to go with Penix when Cousins doesn't feel like it's deserved. And really what's going to be left is you're just going to have a pissed off quarterback that you're paying 4 years, $180 million to. So I expect Penix to be starting that game. If you're asking me.
I would say I still expect Kirk Cousins because I still think the Falcons are going to be good. And while I think the whole thing's crazy and might be overly smart when you really think about it, I still think Kirk Cousins is going to play this whole season. If he's not hurt, we'll see. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Okay, better question for you. December 29th, and I can't believe this game is that late in the season. Is Derek Carr going to be playing against the Raiders when it's the Saints against the Raiders?
If he's healthy, I think so. Yeah.
Spencer Rattler trying to get his job?
they're not going to bring a 3rd round pick in because Carr's sucking it up. They're going to have
What
him
about
wait it out the whole year.
who was the guy? Who was the dude at Fresno State? They drafted, basically Carr mentored.
Oh God, I remember. I'm blanking on his name. He was solid as a Bulldog.
Oh, Jake Haener. Jake Haener. Yeah, he got a pop for like PEDs a year ago, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
I still think it's a good chance Derek Carr plays in that game if he's healthy, but I don't like that game being that late because I want to see Derek play against the Raiders. That would be very interesting.
Yes, it will.
So, yeah, I mean, for the most part, I kind of like the bookends of starting with the Rams, starting with the Chargers, ending with the Chargers. The road games are tough. Going to Baltimore, going to Cincinnati, going to Miami. Tampa's a good team. Well, we'll see. They won the division a year ago, but it was kind of by default. No, they were second in the AFC West a year ago, so they get a harder schedule. Then probably matches what the team actually was. Like last year, were they a second place AFC West team? Probably not, but that's just how bad the division was.
It's not going to be great. It's not going to be great, man. I low expectations. Hopefully they exceed them this year.
All right, fair enough. All right, let's go over then now to the 49ers schedule, and I'll get that here. But just a quick note, interesting actually. The 49ers, when they face the Dallas Cowboys, the Buffalo Bills, and what was the third team? The Kansas City Chiefs. They will all those teams will be coming off of their bye weeks.
Yeah.
So that's a huge disadvantage for the 49ers, but they get 2 of those 3 games at home. All right, here. Let's get the 49ers schedule going. All right, so here we go. This was announced earlier this week, but Monday Night Football, it's the first time, I think, since 2007, the 49ers will open the season on Monday Night Football at home. And it's the first time they're facing the New York Jets for week 1 at home since 1998. And a lot of 49er fans or NFL fans will remember that was the Garrison Hurst game where he busted a run 96 yards in overtime to
Busted
win that
a run,
game.
baby.
Busted a run, baby.
Busted a huge run.
There you go.
A load of a run.
All right. Speaking of busting loads, Aaron Rodgers coming to town. Bay Area zone. He's coming to town with who's his buddy on Fox News that he did the interview with?
Tucker Carlson,
baby. In the interview, he talked about, speaking of busting loads, I was saying, talked about how he doesn't watch porn. Porn's beneath him.
Yes. Well, no, it's because they're tracking him and whoever they are. Like, can I just say this? All right, I'm gonna
go
spend
for it.
Like just 15 seconds with Aaron Rodgers.
By the way, we'll also save our Harrison Butker takes for Sunday. We got a bigger thing for that.
Do we?
I do, at least. Or Butker, whatever the fuck his name is.
I was about ready to unleash holy hell. Anyway,
save it for Sunday's Jackass of the Week. That's just a preview,
15,
I guess.
15 seconds on Aaron Rodgers. How can anyone live their life that paranoid? It does not sound fun to be him. It's just always like, what do you do in your spare time? Don't watch porn, you know that, but that's fine.
Yeah, barely
that's
not.
Fine. You don't have to do that, but you don't watch porn because they're tracking you and they're tracking your every move. You can't do that. It must be exhausting to just be that scared or to just question everything, because you'll go down into a rabbit hole and you're so far gone you don't even know where you are anymore. And I think that's where Aaron Rodgers is at, especially since he's sitting with Tucker Carlson, who is just outsmarting everyone who listens to him because he just goes for what's popular. And what's popular right now is that other side who's in that part of the rebellion, like it's just, I didn't think Aaron Rodgers would go down this low, but anyway, continue.
If they're tracking us and possibly coming after us with the amount of porn we watch, then I demand a lawyer. Anyway, 49ers schedule. Week 1, Monday Night Football against the Jets. That'll be fun. I think the 49ers have been home week 1 since 2020, when that was a weird deal where they opened the season up against the Arizona Cardinals. Then week 2, they face off against presumably their former quarterback Sam Darnold in the Minnesota Vikings. Week 2. Week 3, they go on the road to take on the LA Rams, and the Niner faithful usually take over that stadium anyway. Week 4, home against the Patriots. Week 5, home against the Arizona Cardinals. Week 6, Thursday Night Football against the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. Then they take on the Kansas City Chiefs for a Super Bowl rematch on Fox. Tom Brady will be on the call for that one. Then right after that, they take on the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football, once again, as the case was a year ago. Week 9, they're on the bye. Week 10, they are in Tampa. Then they go week 11, they're home against the Seattle Seahawks. This is probably the toughest part of their schedule right here, back-to-back weeks. Week 12, they go to Green Bay, and then week 13 against the Buffalo Bills. Cold climates for the 49ers, but they've beaten the Green Bay Packers in colder climates before. Week 14, they play against Caleb Williams and the Bears. Week 15, they are home against the LA Rams, I believe. Is that a? Actually, don't know if that is.
So
is that a?
It's an Amazon game.
Yep.
Thursday.
Week 16, they're at Miami, so that's Kyle Shanahan versus Mike McDaniel. Week 17, I was kind of surprised this game is this late in the season. Monday Night Football against the Detroit Lions. Everyone's banking on the Lions to be good again. They should be, but you never know with teams that had, years of, mediocrity or just awful football, and then they have one good season, and then it could go down the tube once again. But I'm expecting them to be good. I was just kind of shocked that game's that late. And then week 18, they finish it off against the Arizona Cardinals in the desert. Steven, your thoughts on the 49ers schedule?
Really, I'm excited for pretty much all but 3 games. Vikings, Patriots, and Tampa Bay. I don't think that's going to be much of a matchup coming off the bye week. Tampa Bay can only hang on so long. So I mean, remember last year, it's like they had pretty much the same roster, and we all thought they were going to really stink. But I'm excited for all of them because Vikings, Patriots, meh, nothing there. Maybe Gerard Mayo can cook something up, but I think the Cardinals are actually going to be a much better. I think they've had a sneaky good offseason, and I think they're going to be much better than we think. I think they were trending upward last year, and getting Kyler Murray back, I think they're going to be a really solid team, especially with the draft that they had, their wide receiver core. I'm very interested to see what they do. I don't really remember what their running back room looks like, but I think the Cardinals can surprise some people. So I think those are going to be some good matchups. Obviously, the one in Miami, Mike McDaniel against Kyle Shanahan. You always want to watch that matchup. Like, come on, it's the what happened? Did something happen?
You okay?
It looked like I was disconnected, but I'm all good.
No, you're fine.
But yeah, that stretch of games just from week 11 at home versus Seattle all the way to the end of the year. Like, man, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Just how it's all going to, because I think that the Niners would have the edge on most of them, but you never know in Green Bay. You never know in Buffalo, although Buffalo, it remains to be seen how good they're going to be. And then the Patriots, but or not the Patriots, rather the
Bears.
The Bears. Actually, the Bears interesting too.
Yeah,
all of it from week 11 down to week 18. That's going to be interesting second half of the season.
Yeah, I would say the most interesting part about it is the back-to-back games. They'll have week 7 and 8, Chiefs, Cowboys at home, and then week 12, 13, Packers, Bills on the road. That to me will be interesting of how good of a team they are again. How will they, back-to-back weeks? they're usually a good road team. They're usually a good overall team, but going on the road to Lambeau, where they barely beat the Packers a year ago in that playoff game, Buffalo's a different team, but the one time Josh Allen played against the Niners, he picked them apart. Of course, that was a very different Niner team. And yeah, just, the fact that they're tied for the most in football, 6 primetime games. They're tied with the Cowboys. And if you had to guess the other team, Steven, who would it be?
Primetime games?
Yep.
Jets.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew that.
Oh, you already knew it?
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
Well, to me, it's like, I understand Aaron Rodgers, the intrigue, but do we really want to go down this road again?
It's conspiracy, Derek.
Thank you.
It's conspiracy.
Well, they're watching.
They're watching us.
Yeah, Pornhub.
Mm-hmm. The Pornhub Bowl.
Exactly. But do we, like, every year this happens. Every year where it's like, that's going to be a tasty schedule. That's going to be an awesome game. And then one quarterback goes down, and it's just shitty. Or Russell Wilson is just terrible with the Broncos, and we get a shit ton of nationally televised Bronco games. I understand the intrigue with Aaron Rodgers. It just feels like, at least, like, I think a lot of those games are early enough with the Jets. We can pull up their schedule too if we want to, but I don't know. It just seems to me like the NFL is forcing us down our throats again, and this is another part of the schedule. It looks good now in May, but come during the playing season when there's a bunch of injuries, then things get less sexy.
Yeah, forcing it down our throats, not in the porn way.
There you go. Thank you, Steven.
Yeah, not in the porn way. Just wanted to clarify that. We don't like porn on this show.
We don't?
It's just my opinion, man.
But yeah, as far as the Niners schedule, they were on the defending NFC champions, and I could say this is a hard schedule, but they're a really good team. So yeah, there's tough games here or there, but for the most part, I think this is pretty good for the Niners. I think your mic's off. Steven, you okay? All right, now Steven's miming.
Does it work?
Yeah, you got it.
All right, cool.
You're having my issues that I had a long time ago with this.
It's all good. We're good now. The little lights were orange and now they're green. All right, are you ready for this?
Is this the Niners schedule release video?
Correct.
All right, let's take a look.
The 2024 schedule is finally here. I know just the right person to get me fired up for this upcoming season.
Hey guys, good to see you all again. It's good to be back. We got the schedule release and looks like we're going to be playing a lot of tough teams this year. We just got to be ourselves, even if we're not feeling like ourselves, like when I skip a leg day or if I accidentally eat a carb, you know what I mean? We've got some new guys in the building, so it's our responsibility to show them the ropes. The weight room, that's where you can find me. Another day at the gym. Bosa. All right. More reps. Looks like we have 2 trips to Florida this year. It's a great place. Can't wait to show you guys my boat, my gym, give you guys a gym tour where I work on these quads.
I don't really sound like that, do I?
All right. So,
Steven, what the hell was that?
it's a schedule release video.
Yeah.
It's a schedule release. But here's the thing. The impression's fine. Whatever. The impression's good. She's been doing that for a while. She's a very Steph Sanchez. She's been doing the 49ers Carrot podcast, I believe, 49er K podcast for quite a while now. But here's my thing with both the 49ers and the Raiders schedule release video. Like, it's not a schedule release. Like, that would be a good video for like a Nick Bosa, like an award that's being given to Nick Bosa, or some promotional giveaway for like a Nick Bosa bobblehead or something.
Right.
But like, there's no, and they mentioned a couple of games in Florida, but aren't schedule releases meant to be videos of each week and the teams do something funny for each week of games. Like that's the problem I had with the Raiders video too. We didn't play it on here because you can't play it. It's not even good for video or audio. Like the Raiders, it just looked like a pre-game hype video. So I don't know about that one.
I'm with you.
I don't know if it was the right type of video.
No, I'm with you. I think the schedule release videos have to be like that. Like they're comical. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze.
Bless you.
Damn allergies.
Bless you.
The schedule release videos have to be comical. They have to go through each week. And yeah, like the Chargers nailed it. I don't know what they did this year. They did like The Sims. They did like a Sims parody.
Yeah, there was a lot going on in that. Jesse, I got to show you that. Jesse loves The Sims. The Chargers did a Sims schedule video.
We'll pull it up. The Titans just did a replay of last year, right? We'll pull that one up too. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen the Titans one.
Okay, we'll watch it in real time. But yeah, I'm with you. Listen. Niners, you guys are good with me. Love everybody at the organization. Wasn't a huge fan of that schedule release video.
It's a little
too much.
It didn't. Well, it's not even that. It's just it didn't seem like there was a lot of thought put into it. It just said, "Hey, we got this popular 49ers figure who's very good at a Nick Bosa impression. Let's just have her do the Nick Bosa impression." And it's just all right. Well, I mean, maybe the chart. Did you see the Falcons one?
Haven't seen it yet. Haven't seen any of them.
The Falcons one is basically a full-on NFL Street video. They do like the NFL Street animation, and with each week they do a lot of cool stuff with it. It actually looks pretty sick. But like the Chargers one, but with the Chargers one, yeah, it's like they probably gave that to a bunch of animators, someone who could do that stuff, had the idea. They were all very creative. It just didn't seem like there was a lot of time and effort put into that one, except for on Steph's part, who really did all of it. And then Nick Bosa sitting in a boat.
Yeah, they just Nick, can you film this? Can you film this real quick while you're chilling in your boat in Florida? I heard you. The one that I did watch was the Rams, where it's a computer animated Matthew Stafford and all the teammates. He's driving around the country, and he picks him up in a Cadillac. It was cool visual effects, but I like
picking him up in a caddy.
Yeah, I like the comedic ones. Like I'll give a shout out to your boy Michael Connell for KNBR's Niners schedule release video. He looked up obscure celebrities that are like fans of each team they play.
Okay.
So it was just like random ass celebrities. Like he put in Dean Cain for whatever team Dean Cain likes.
Dean Cain?
He was the 90s Superman on the TV show Lois and Superman. Or Lois and Clark.
That Michael Connell guy, he's a bizarre human being, isn't he?
Oh, yes, he is. But I appreciated it. Did it get a lot of traction on KNBR today? And he was like, it's bombing. And I'm like, no, it's fine. Just not like comments. I appreciated the creativity. Real quick, let's go through some of the nationally televised schedule.
I can picture him. Hang on, one second. There's one. I just want to play a snippet. The Steelers did one where they had each player read dad jokes to James Harrison.
Oh, okay.
And they have to make him laugh if they want to see the NFL schedule. And actually, you know what? I'll play the first 30 seconds because they did start off with Russell Wilson. This one was pretty good. Let me pull it up here. All right. Hear this yet? It's coming. James Harrison going to sit in a seat. They're in a dark room. It's very Hot Ones-esque. I didn't know James.
So why did the pony ask for a glass of water, Debo? Because it was a little horse. Why so serious?
What do you call a jet that flies backwards? You might get this one.
Jet.
A receding airline.
Why would I get that? Explain it, Joe.
The hair. the hair thing. We'll just go to the next one. No, we're not done.
What do you call a horse that lives next door? A neighbor. Can y'all give me some better questions? This man is scaring the hell out of me.
What do you?
That's pretty good. That actually is pretty good.
Like James Harrison's putting on a show for it. He's really trying to keep a straight face. But yeah, the receding hairline, by the way, they go on later in the video, like 2.5 minutes later. And he's like, yeah, explain that to me. Why would I know about a receding hairline? And he goes, because you're bald. It's like, God damn.
Does he crack a smile at all during the whole thing?
No. I mean, I think he was really trying hard just to keep a straight face because that's what James Harrison does. And yes, much like everyone here, rocking new era, tacky. Yeah, I did not know that James Harrison went by Debo. That is news to me as well.
Yeah, because of Friday, and he resembles that character pretty well.
Makes sense.
Yeah, my friend gave me that change. Just to go through real quick the nationally televised schedules. Hang on one second while I get this going. Sunday Night Football. Week 1, Rams at Lions. All right. Week 2, Bears at Texans. Going on a limb there with Caleb Williams, but I kind of expect that with a big market with the Bears against CJ Stroud.
Dude, real quick, let me just say something. These guys they're all over the socials. This really is, it feels like a generation shift with this team. Like,
what do you mean?
Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze are really using social media to their advantage, unlike a lot of these newer guys. I know Micah Parsons just became the president of Bleacher Report Gridiron, and I know him and CJ Stroud had a cool thing. Yeah, he's the president of Bleacher Report Gridiron. He named him president today.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't know. They had a whole explanation about it, but they're all over social media, dude. And
I haven't even noticed.
Really leaning into this whole thing. Caleb Williams, you're going to see this a lot. You ready? This is what you're going to see a lot of. That's
the Bear Claw thing?
The Bear Claw. You're going to see a lot of Bear Claws this year, more than in a police station.
Yeah, I was waiting for that one. Well, the since I watched the Iron Claw, the image I get now is some dude trying to rip somebody's face off.
You could say that. You could say, is Caleb Williams just a big Iron Claw fan? Yeah, big Von Erich guy. Anyway, continue on.
So yeah, they're going to put Caleb Williams on Sunday Night Football in the second game of his NFL career. Chiefs go to Atlanta. Bills play the Ravens. Cowboys, Steelers. This is interesting. Bengals, Giants. I guess because the Giants are in New York, but Bengals. Week 7, Jets at Steelers. It's interesting. They go to the Pittsburgh Steelers 2 times in 3 weeks. Niners at Cowboys. Jaguars, Philly. Lions at Texans. Colts at Jets. I don't know if that's a Sunday Night Football game. Colts at Jets.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Eagles at Rams. All right. Niners at Bills. I like. Chargers at Chiefs. Okay. Packers at Seahawks. Bucks at Cowboys. That's probably going to get flexed out. This one, too. Dolphins at Browns. This is, I got to be honest, this is kind of one of the more weaker Sunday Night Football schedules I've seen in quite some time.
Yeah, it's not looking too great.
It's not. Let's look at some other ones.
It's looking like background here. You know what? I got a quick question.
Quick answer, maybe,
because before that Sunday Night Football game will be the trade deadline, as we just talked about earlier. Do you envision Deebo Samuel being on the 49ers before that Cowboys game? For Sunday night? You do.
Yes, 100%. I don't think Deebo Samuel or Brandon Ayuk are going anywhere this season at this point. I think they're all in, and then next year Deebo is gone.
Gotcha.
And maybe even Kittle. Maybe even
one
Kittle.
One more.
Yeah.
Do you think by that time
Devontae?
What?
Devontae?
No, this is 49ers Cowboys related.
Okay.
Do you think by that time Trey Lance starting for the Cowboys?
No.
Huh? No?
No.
Getting a lot of reps at OTAs coming up. That's what they're saying.
Is Dak there?
Yeah.
Interesting. It's OTAs.
Huh? Organized team activities, big deal.
Yeah, Trey has to play well in order to take the job away from him.
Trey Lance, week 8?
No, Steven, goddammit.
All right, moving on.
Monday Night Football. We talked about the Jets and 49ers, Eagles, or Falcons at the Eagles. Not bad. We get double headers a lot more now on Monday Night Football. So we got Jags at Bills, Commanders at Bengals, Titans week 4, Titans at Dolphins, Seahawks at Lions. Week 5, it's Saints, Chiefs. Where am I at? Whatever. It's Bills at Jets, Ravens at Bucks,
Well done.
Chargers at Cardinals, Giants at Steelers, Bucks at Chiefs, Dolphins at Rams, Texans at Cowboys. That's not bad. The Hard Bowl, Ravens at Chargers, Browns at Broncos, Bengals at Cowboys, Bears at Vikings, Falcons at Raiders, Saints at Packers, Lions at 49ers. Some hits and misses there. I would say not consistently great, but a little better than in years past when it comes to Monday Night Football.
Going to be a lot of Manning cast games for me with this one.
Well, featuring Belichick.
Featuring Billy.
Yep. And then lastly here, just the Thursday night games, because everybody hates these and complains about them all the time. You don't have to watch them. You don't.
Great
Week
halftime
2,
show, though.
What's up?
I said great halftime show, though. Pre and post, too.
No. I will be texting you once again. This post-game show's amazing. We'll see if Richard Sherman's on it, though. A little trouble in the offseason. Bills at Dolphins, Patriots at Jets, Cowboys at Giants. For Thursday Night Football, that's not bad for old Amazon to get that. Bucks at Falcons, Niners at Seahawks, Broncos at Saints, Vikings at Rams. Pretty good right here. Texans at Jets, Bengals at Ravens. That's not bad either. Commanders, Eagles, Steelers, Browns, Packers, Lions, Rams, 49ers, Browns, Bengals, Seahawks, Bears. I would say an improvement.
What a random Week 17 game.
Yeah, that is weird. They just want to get Caleb Williams in there.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of division games in here to look forward to. I think obviously Broncos Saints with the Sean Payton effect. I guess the only one that really doesn't catch my eye, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't stay healthy, just don't watch any porn. But Texans Jets is a good one, but Vikings Rams, like that. Anything with the Vikings this year, I'm just not interested in the Vikings. I guess JJ McCarthy is something, but I don't know. By the time Week 8 rolls around, I think we're going to be wondering whether he should have been taken in the first round. I think that's.
But what about JJ as in Justin Jefferson?
I mean, JJ. I mean, of course, there's always Justin
Aaron
Jefferson.
Jones,
huh?
Aaron Jones on that team. They think they got some playmakers.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And then finally, just the holiday games, and I know these off the dome. For Thanksgiving, I do. Yes. For Thanksgiving, it's going to be. Maybe I don't actually. Hold on. Well, I know it's Giants Cowboys.
Who's my guy?
Yeah, who's my team? I think it's Bears Lions, Cowboys or Giants Cowboys, Dolphins Packers. I believe that's the case.
That's for what?
For Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Okay.
So not bad.
Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving and football mesh very well.
They do.
Yeah, because Thanksgiving normally on a Thursday.
Okay. Well, we'll get to I know what you're getting at, Steven. Hang on. Hold on. Just to confirm that I was correct. Yes, Bears at Lions, Giants at Cowboys, Dolphins at Packers, and then the Black Friday game, Raiders at Chiefs. The Christmas Day games, which Steven is mad about, are Steelers or Chiefs at Steelers, and the other one is Texans at Ravens. Pretty good. Actually, I've not seen how that affects them the week before. So they'll play. What week is that? That's going to be let's see here. Week 16, maybe? Week 15? Let's see here. Christmas. Nope. Hold on. Week 16? Yeah. Nope. Week 17. Hang on. Okay. Yeah. So Saturday, I see it now. Oh, the 20. Okay. Yeah. So the Texans are going to play the Chiefs. So those teams are going to play each other and then play the following Wednesday for Christmas. Okay.
Wednesday.
Yeah. I know, man. Saturday to Wednesday.
Good God.
Dude, like with the schedule, man, the NFL is going to take things over. And yes, all the rumors were right. Boomer Esiason. It's going to be on Netflix.
Yeah, see, the thing is with Christmas Day games, I'm good with 1, right? But 3 is just impossible. Because Christmas Day, like, this is just me personally. I'm not saying anyone else should feel this way. I'm just giving my opinion, man. But I work Christmas Day normally. I always work in the morning. And by that time, I'm going to be going somewhere for Christmas lunch, probably going to make something so I can half pay attention to whatever the end of the tail end of the first game is. And then as I'm traveling to wherever I'm going, can't watch the game on TV. Got to listen to radio with Ross Tucker, the Bull Cannon.
You love that guy. You love that guy.
I actually think he's a very good analyst. But and then the night game, like, well, by the time nighttime comes around, if you're in a room, say with one TV, like I was last year, not everyone wants to watch football on a Christmas night. And I can't go anywhere to watch the game. So for me, it doesn't work.
Tell your family to get lost and go watch the games yourself. Who needs family at Christmas time?
Tell my family to get lost on Christmas. Be
like Tacky and say, eat shit.
You are something.
I'm with you, Steven. If I was still working at NFL Network, this would piss me off. But hey, yeah. I'm not.
Yeah.
Huh. So yeah, 2 games on Christmas on Netflix. By the way, did you see what was part of the deal with Netflix and the NFL?
No.
Netflix is going to do a 10-part series. 10-part series. 10 full episodes on how Jerry Jones got the Cowboys. You'll watch.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'm interested in watching that guy. Like, I get it. Jerry Jones, he bought this team for 6 figures and turned it into $1 billion corporation. Like, what? I get it. Way to go, Jerry.
Yeah. I don't know if I need 10 parts. It could have been just one, one hour, a 1 hour documentary. That's it. That's it. The 10-parter about it is, I guess I got to go through everything when he bought the Cowboys in the 90s to now. Yeah.
I'd rather have that be like a 30 for 30 instead of a couple of what they're going to be rolling out this coming summer.
Yeah, I saw the 30 for 30 slate. Not anything that tickles my fancy.
And there's a few of them that look okay, like the tennis player Michael Chang, I think is his name. That the track and field athlete who was wrongly accused of steroids, and I forgot what the other one was, but to bring in esports into it with the FaZe Clan, and then to make another one on
they're doing one on esports.
Yeah, and then they're doing another one on Dude Perfect, which is
what?
Yeah, Dude Perfect.
Okay, they're trying to get trendy now with the 30 for 30s.
Yes, they are. Yeah,
can't they convince Andrew Luck to sit down and talk about what the hell happened?
Right? I need to see ratings for Dude Perfect on Amazon Prime. Like, I truly wonder how many people watch the Dude Perfect broadcast with Thursday Night Football. And yes, the listeners or the podcast, I call it co-hosts. All you guys, if you didn't see it, there was a Dude Perfect simulcast during Thursday Night Football games last year. Where are the ratings for that? I want to see what the viewers looked like. Are people really interested? Dude, it's not perfect.
No. And thank you for that joke. Yeah, I thought that was stupid to begin with. So, I'm not even sure what they're just guys that do weird stunts or
Yeah, no, they do trick shots, dude.
Oh yeah, they do trick shots. Yeah, it's enough for me to not watch the NFL game I'm currently watching to see them do that shit in the background. Yeah, 30 for 30s have gone downhill. They do stuff that I care about. Think about me, damn it. By the way, they're also I guess they announced today. Go ahead, sorry.
Just do everything on football.
Exactly. No, I can watch other things too, as long as it's interesting.
Yeah.
Do one. Well, I'll think of some other good. That's what we'll do. We'll do that one day. We'll think of good 30 for 30s we should come up with. But the other news that came out today is they're going to do a Hard Knocks on the New York Giants, but not a training camp Hard Knocks. Oh no, it's an off-season Hard Knocks where you see them make free agency moves. You see the GM, I think it's Joe Shane from the Bills, and Brian Dable. They go through the draft and they make trades and sign players. I will find this interesting. I think the vast majority of people, i.e. Steven, will find this incredibly boring.
Yeah, I'm not interested at all.
Yeah, I figured.
This is made for the people who played that NFL GM video game.
They have one?
They had one, yeah.
Was it GM or was it the head coach video game?
Or it might have been the head coach one.
I remember buying that, and the whole thing to me was insane. Like, you just call the plays, and then you watch it play out. There was only one game ever made of that. I remember it with Tony Dungy on the cover.
There's one more. There's one more cover. Who do you think it was? For PC, there's two different covers. There's one for Tony Dungy, and there's another one.
Tony Dungy, not Gruden, right?
Not Gruden.
Okay. Got it. It had to be that time, so
he's on TV now.
He's on TV now as a coach. Jason Garrett?
No, Bill Cowher.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
For PC and CD-ROM.
Wow. The good old days.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I could see people not caring about that shit. Any of the scheduled release videos you want to watch real quick?
There's not really any that are good for like the podcast.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, fair enough.
I'll say the good ones. I mean, the Chargers and the Falcons are just phenomenal. The Patriots one is also really good. They do a version of Good Will Hunting. Julian Edelman is Will Hunting, and Rob Gronkowski is Ben Affleck. And shout out to Ernie. I forgot what his last name is, but Ernie Adams is his name, I think.
Yeah, Ernie Adams.
He plays Robin Williams, and
it's not your fault.
A nice little nod to the Boston movies, the famous ones, and then they have like this little scene at the end referencing the town. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I figured they did the town.
I recommend everyone go watch that. By the way, did you know that Robin Williams improvised that last line?
Yep.
The son of a bitch.
Yep.
He stole my line. He improvised it.
Robin Williams is good at improvising.
Fun fact.
Yeah, he was pretty good at coming to things on the top of his dome. Fun fact about the town. You remember Joe Mazzulla watches it 4 times a day?
Yeah.
I call bullshit on that one.
Yeah.
All right, and that's all schedule release talk. So there you go, Steven. We got through it. It was painless. Only took us an hour.
All right. Now we wait 4 months.
Yep, for actual things. And now this is officially cement laying time.
Yeah, dude. You gotta get going with either cement.
I will find a way. I'm gonna try to find a way to lay cement. But I'm down, dude. I'm down to I'll meet you, go play golf somewhere. I'll take up golf. I will what was the other ones? Go snorkeling?
Snorkeling or scuba diving. Take up scuba.
I could probably get that done in Florida when I see my mom. And I got to watch the FS or the F1 show. And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Unless I'm forgetting anything you said.
No, you got the main ones.
All right,
I'm
there you
actually
go.
serious. I'm actually serious about the Formula One and all that sort of stuff. Cement laying, yeah, you can't really do that as a producer.
Oh.
So
I'll find a way, Steven. Get a good sponsorship out of the podcast. We'll find a way.
okay, all right.
NBA playoffs going on right now. The Dallas Mavericks in the fourth quarter here got a good lead on the Oklahoma City Thunder in Oklahoma. That series is tied up 2-2, so we'll see if the Mavericks get that win and go up 3-2 in the series. The Celtics prevailed tonight over the Cleveland Cavaliers, who didn't have Donovan Mitchell the last two games. There's a lot of rumblings about him sticking with that team. The Celtics are going to the Eastern Conference Final for the sixth time in the last 8 seasons, and they only advanced once to the NBA Finals. So we'll see what happens there.
Mm-hmm.
All the home teams are winning in the Knicks and Pacers series. Just goes back and forth. There have been some close games for the most part. The home teams have been blowing out the road teams, the last 2 games at least. And then there has been a very entertaining game. The last time we talked, the Nuggets beat down the Timberwolves on Friday night to keep that series alive 2-1. Then they do it again on Sunday night. More entertaining and more competitive game. And then last night, 3 in a row for the Nuggets. They're back in this series. They look like the defending champs once again. They look like they're going to win the whole damn thing. And whoever out there doesn't believe that Nikola Jokic is the best player in basketball right now, I don't know what you're watching, because this guy's incredible. 40 points last night. Would you believe that was his 5th 40-point playoff game? And all previous 4 40-point games were losses. That was the first win he ever had when he scored 40 plus or 40 and up.
That's
But
crazy.
Incredible performance last night. I think the Nuggets, I don't care who advances between the Mavericks or the Thunder. I'm going to tell you already. I think I think the Nuggets are the best team in the playoffs, hands down.
Yeah, Nuggets got a lot of momentum right now, and this series was the one they needed to remind themselves that they are the team to beat in the West. Thunder may have been the 1 seed. They're a nice story, but this Nuggets team is just so deep and so good. Like Jamal Murray hitting that half-court shot the other night. That wasn't the last game, but the other night,
Steph-esque.
in front of Kelvin Harlan. That was such a cool moment. Aaron Gordon has just been awesome over the past couple of years. Everyone could use a guy like that. I actually called on the Warriors to try and trade for him from the Magic, but that's neither here nor there. I don't need to toot my own horn with that one. I think they won the championship that year, so it's fine. But one thing I wanted to play, like Jokic, just another example. I don't think he likes being good at basketball. like when he's talking about his multiple dunks in this game, he just seems like yeah, I'm that guy. Here is Nikola Jokic after last win.
Game 3, you had the dunk over Anthony Edwards. Tonight, you drove, kind of put it behind your head. Where's that coming from? And is that a product of all of Minnesota's rim protection? Do you feel like you need to finish with more authority when you have the chance?
I mean, I had open lane, and I'm a freak of nature, and why not to show my athleticism?
See, you can't. The people listening can't hear it, but he's shaking his head. It's like when I read that quote, I read that first before I heard the audio. I thought he was going to go up there sarcastically and go, yeah, I'm a freak of nature, so had to throw it down on him one time for the one time. But instead he's like, well, I'm a freak of nature, so I did it.
Yeah, it's almost like the way it looks. It's more like an Elephant Man thing where he's like, I'm a freak of nature.
He doesn't sound happy saying it.
Lane,
I am not an animal.
Why not to show my athleticism?
No one loves me. I'm always spotted at big parties. I have to do these commercials for Hotels.com with ponies.
I feel bad for him. I've
No,
never felt bad for an MVP before, but he's like, well, I'm here, and I am one of the best big men the NBA's ever seen. I guess this is my life.
I think he just doesn't like talking to the media.
That's also true.
The most enthusiasm I've ever seen him have in a post-game press conference was when another guy from Serbia asked him a question. Have you seen this, Steven? And he pronounces his name Nikola. And he picks his head up like, who said that? And the guy starts speaking in Serbian, and he's like, oh, yeah. But that's the only time I've ever heard him like actually give a shit.
Yeah. Well, I get it. You don't really trust a lot of people, and I don't know. The guy's coming up. I didn't even mention this. I should have had this as my jackass of the week last week, but Shaq going on NBA on TNT when he's literally just awarded his 3-time MVP, just the 6th player in NBA history to do that, or 9th player or whatever it is in NBA history to do that. And Shaq's just like, yeah, I didn't think you deserved it. Like, no wonder Jokic doesn't trust the media. It's like are they really there for their well-being, or are they there to tell the whole story? Some of them are, but others might have another agenda.
I hate when, and I know that this show might be going away inside the NBA. I hate when they interview the players because for the most part, that show is comical. They do some informative stuff here or there. It's more like a sports talk radio show where they're just bullshitting as former athletes. But I can't stand when they do that. When they bring on current players and they're like, you weren't as good as me, or Shaq will be like, I didn't think you were top 5. Like, remember a couple years ago, he called out Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell was like, Shaq, I've heard that criticism my entire life, man. You're not anybody different. He's like, okay, fella, I'm just telling you, man. I just wanted to say it to your face. It's like that doesn't need to be the point. Like I know that show is fun, but it doesn't need to be. It's time for Shaq and Charles and Kenny to flex their nuts on how great of players they were and what their opinion is. You're interviewing that guy. Show him some fucking respect. That's my opinion on that.
Yeah, but there's also times when Shaq speaks a foreign language, and it's always a good time when he tries to do that, especially with Jokic. Brother.
Now, do you like Shaq's diss track on Shannon Sharp?
I didn't hear it.
I've heard it. It's okay.
What a random beef. I didn't think
it's very random.
Out of everything that, like, Kendrick and Drake, yeah, I could see that happening. Like, Kendrick's probably the best rapper alive right now, whereas Drake is the most popular hip hop artist alive right now. So I could understand that, but I did not think Shaq and Shannon Sharp would be doing. It's just he made a whole Instagram post about it too, and I read it entirely. I read it entirely in Shaq's voice because Shaq made one also.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were reading in Shannon Sharp's voice. Who was like, "This is Shaq. I know you."
Shaq wrote 3-time champ, 2-time MVP. Google me.
But why does Shaq give a shit?
I don't know.
Yeah, I will say, it's not as good as and rest in peace. But at the time, it was hilarious. Hey, Kobe, tell me how my ass tastes. Or even some of his rhymes back in the day. Shaq was okay when he was a rapper. Oh, you jealous punks can't stop my dunks.
Yeah. He was all right. I mean,
he was all right. He was all right.
The album wasn't terrible. The album wasn't terrible. And I mean, did you hear him in Kazam?
Yes.
Come on, dog. You the coffee, I'm the cream.
But yeah, to just go back to Jokic, he's the best player in the NBA, hands down.
Yeah, he is. He's unbelievable. He demoralized the Timberwolves, and as fun as that was after they split the series back in Minnesota and Anthony Edwards was chirping at Jamal Murray at the end of the game, you knew, okay, Anthony Edwards has that confidence, but what about the rest of these Timberwolves? I don't think the rest of the Timberwolves matched that energy that Edwards had at the end of game 4. I think that was really demoralizing to lose both games at home after winning both in Denver. Like, you should have split that series. And I know the last podcast, I was giving them the benefit of the doubt because I didn't know what would happen in this series. It's kind of a, you go back to Denver and then you go back to Minnesota and then, all right. Like I thought that this was just such a good series that anything could happen, but yeah, it's pretty clear that kind of like what Draymond spoke about. You just lost they lost their confidence. You could tell.
Yeah, what do you think about Draymond's analysis? So he popped in for the NBA on TNT last night, and he was late because he had to do the podcast, but he was there, and he gave good analysis on how Rudy Gobert is not doing a good job defending Jokic. But then again, I think a lot of guys have a hard time defending Jokic. He did say Karl Anthony Towns did a better job than Gobert did. Yeah, okay. But he called him out, called him barbecue chicken, and basically just talked shit about the Timberwolves. And I don't know if just Draymond has a whole beef with that team because he called out Anthony Edwards for I think he respects Anthony Edwards as a player, but he called him out for kind of dicking around during the All-Star game, like the festivities, the skills challenge where he used his left hand. He called out Karl Anthony Towns for kind of milking his injury last night, and he just hates Rudy Gobert. So I think Draymond's very good on TV, and I think he's closer to that point of his career. But I do think he takes he takes things personally. He did call the Knicks frauds or whatever he called them. Fluky, yes. For a guy that's still playing in the NBA, he just still talks a lot of shit, and he's got to back it up. So, that I have no issue with it, but, he's still playing. That's always kind of weird to me.
Agreed. But what I gather from this is, you can keep the stance that he is going to be fantastic on TV moving forward. He's polarizing. He's everything you want in an analyst because there are too many of them out there that are just super bland. They don't really have anything creative as far as their criticism. Like Draymond tried bringing the jokes against Gobert. You heard that. I think it went viral this morning or after last night, but it went viral this morning when he said, yeah, you could tell it's over when Gobert's on the podium talking we in his native French. No, it's about you.
That wasn't bad.
I think he's going to have a very long, fruitful analyst career. And I think it's much better for him than just his podcast solo. I appreciate that he does it. I appreciate that he's starting this whole new media thing. But I can only listen to a solo podcast for so long. You know what I mean? You gotta have another voice in there.
Yeah. No.
It's not just one of us. It's no fault to Draymond. It's just you got to have someone to go back and forth with. And I could tell you from experience, doing a podcast alone, weird, very weird.
Did that during the pandemic. Did a podcast by myself. It was just me talking.
It's just like.
So, Derek, what do you think about that? Well, Derek, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Just kind of go crazy.
Yep. Yep. But I think he's going to be really good. So.
Yeah, I think so too.
He knows what he's talking about. There's no denying it. He is, after all, what they call a basketball savant, high IQ, kind of a genius, as Steve Kerr likes to say. So I think he'll be really good on TV, and he's got enthusiasm, charisma, all that sort of stuff. So
yeah, no, agreed.
And with that being said, like I know we're trying to find like replacements for Chuck, Shaq, Kenny, and EJ. We're never going to see anything like this, I think, in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Not with what they've cultivated over the last quarter century. Like they are the standard. And the reason for me is you got Kenny Smith who gives the good stuff, but like the analyst stuff. But at the end of the day, like those guys are really, really funny. And you'd be hard pressed to find a lot of former NBA players who are as funny as those guys. I don't know. Maybe it's because of how big they are. Just Shaq being super huge and Charles Barkley being that big and both of them fighting. Like you're not going to be able to replace Charles Barkley calling someone a dummy. You're not going to replace that.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing about this whole NBA TV rights negotiation. And according to Bill Simmons, who's pretty tapped into the NBA, he said it's already a done deal that the NBA is going to NBC and Peacock, so we'll get round ball rock again. But basketball, gimme the ball, because I'm gonna dunk it.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna have that quartet.
No.
So Ernie Johnson already said I cannot get out of my contract with TNT. I'm staying. Charles Barkley most likely will go to a different network. But yeah, that's gonna suck when that show ceases to be.
Dude, did you see the thing they got today? Like, it's not even just them, the producers, and how creative they could be.
Did they put a bunch of pasta on Charles Barkley?
They did that, but today they brought one of those electric. I don't want to say electric chair, but one of those chairs that that helps you up the stairs, that helps old people up the stairs. Yeah, they brought that to the screen.
I mean, that is a kill old people, but yes, I'm with you, Steven.
Yes, but the stair lift. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, they brought a stair lift on there, and they just brought it to the set and put it to the big screen because Kenny Smith just happened to trip one time.
No, that's funny.
The way they're able to think of this stuff on the fly, it's not just those four guys. It's also the producer. By the way, to anyone listening to this, I highly recommend watching the 4-part docuseries on that whole show. They made one through TNT. I watched it last year. It's so good.
Where can you watch that? Probably HBO Max, huh?
HBO, yeah.
Okay. I'll check it out.
Max.
Yeah. Get it right, Steven.
That's got a nice ring to it.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, did you ever watch the Conan show?
No, I haven't yet.
I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. Let's go to baseball real quick. Giants are leading right now, I believe, 3-0 on the Dodgers. So if they get a win tonight, great. But does that really change your opinion about how this rivalry has just totally swung in favor of the Dodgers right now? Because I think they've won, prior to tonight, they've won 7 in a row over the Giants, and it's not even close. I don't know how many games or whatever it is. I wrote it all down today, but I forget. It's just been dominance. And we knew going into the season the Dodgers were going to be that much better than the Giants, but it's pretty clear they're not even on the same wavelength. Like they're just so different than them. And you could say the injuries. Jung-Ho Lee may be out for the whole season. Jorge Soler, that whole weird incident where he was in the batting cage yesterday and foul ball fell on his head. Injuries all over the place. I get the Giants are kind of decimated right now, but doesn't it feel like there's not much of a rivalry right now between them and the Dodgers?
Depends what your definition of rivalry is. If you respect the history of it, the rivalry is always going to be there. Is it competitive? No, but like the rivalry will always be there. Like Giants fans will always hate Dodger blue. Dodgers will always hate Giants fans. Sometimes too much. Obviously, we've seen what Dodger fans can do.
Yeah,
but I think the most disheartening thing about this series has just been the growing number of blue that's in the stands at Oracle Park.
Yep.
I haven't been to any this year, but previously I went to almost every, because the series was on like a weekend, I went to pretty much every Giants Dodger game for, I think, like 2 straight years. And there's a good chunk of Dodger fans, but this one, when you see Shohei Ohtani crush one 446 feet into Barry Bonds territory, already throwing salt in that wound, knowing that even though I know that there wasn't like an actual possibility of it happening, but he was still a free agent. He was still out there, and they could have had him if they really wanted to cough up $700 million until 2050. But
not only that, Steven, did you see his post-game comments last night or translated?
Yeah.
He said he loved the view of Oracle Park and he grew up watching Barry Bonds.
It's crazy. And, but as he's hitting that home run and you're seeing him round first, the amount of Dodgers fans that are on that first base side, it's insane. You'd think it was a Dodgers home game. A lot of Dodger, not even blue, Dodger gray as well. People wearing the road jerseys. It's nuts, dude. And I haven't seen it like this before. I haven't seen fans as down on the Giants like this in a long time. Even in 2018, 2019, they were like, we won the championship 4 years ago. We'll be fine in the future. And then they brought in Farhan, and really it's all just kind of gone downhill from there.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad.
Well, except
And
for
I'm
2021, but you know what I mean.
No, I know, but so yeah, Dodgers have won 7 in a row, 10 of the last 12 games against the Giants. Um, and the rest, like Matt Kolsky brought this up today. If you were going to do an all NL West draft, how far until you get to a Giant player? And take pitchers out of it. So forget Logan Webb. How far until you actually mention a Giant player?
Position players?
Yes.
You definitely ain't putting one in the starting 9.
But you're probably going to mention 4 Dodgers, like 4 Padres, and then a Giant? Or not even then? Like, who's the big name on the D-backs?
It usually was Corbin Carroll, but Carroll's been struggling this year as far as I know. So it's not – he's in a little bit of a sophomore slump right now. Maybe like Christian Walker. I don't even know how he's playing right now either. I haven't paid attention much to the Diamondbacks this year, but yeah, you'd have to go down pretty far until you get to a Giant. And yeah, it's bad right now. It's real bad. And I don't really know what the solution is. And I don't think a lot of fans know what the solution is. Their solution is fire Farhan. I don't know if that's the solution. I don't know if that's really, I understand what he's done. I understand the frustration. I understand all of it, believe me. But just getting rid of Farhan or cutting ties with Melvin, I don't know.
That's insane.
It's crazy to me that everyone's already calling out Bob Melvin. And then as soon as I read some, like I went through the Twitter trending, and Bob Melvin was trending. So I clicked on it and I'm seeing someone's like, I'm seeing the Gabe Kapler stuff. And I'm like, I got a stress headache from it. Gabe Kapler was it was much more than just him not handling a bullpen. Like there's just so much more to it. I am not willing to hear any argument about Bob Melvin if it includes Gabe Kapler should have stayed and Farhan should have gone. In reality, both of them probably should have.
Yeah. It's crazy to me that Bay Area fans turn on the coaches so quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Every fan base, Giants, Niners, Warriors want Bob Melvin. No, not the A's.
Hey, AFC fans have even given Albertine Montoya, their first-year head coach, a little bit of grief this year.
Yeah, but just as far as the big ones, Kyle Shanahan, Steve Kerr, Bob Melvin, everybody hates him now, which is just insane to me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask you this though: Do you think it's primarily the injuries? I would say they weren't a good team before the injuries.
I would say the injuries impacted the starting rotation. That's for sure. You had Logan Webb, which was fine, but number 2, you brought in Blake Snell, who had a delayed spring training. Then you had Kyle Harrison, who's been great. Then you had Keaton Wynn, but no, they're not a very good team. And I think even more the problem with the injuries, their lineup pretty well solidified. They're not like changing a lot of things around. You pretty much know which starting 9 you're going to get. Not really sure of the exact lineup, but you know which hitters are going to be there. And a lot of those guys have been hurt. But then their bullpen has the bullpen order of things is just so weird to me. I don't think Melvin knows what to do before Camilo Doval. Like, I don't think they know what to do before Camilo Doval. There's no rhyme or reason to what they're doing. Like, for the A's, it's pretty clear. You got a couple of those long relievers, those middle of the game guys, but when it gets to the 8th, you're going to Lucas Erceg, and when it gets to the 9th, you're going to Mason Miller, and that's if you end up having a 2 or 3 run lead. Whereas the Giants, I don't really think they know where they're going to go any given night. I just think they know Camilo Doval at some point, they want him in at the end of the game, and that's it. So I think that's a big problem. Injuries, obviously, injuries play a role, but you never want to make that excuse. And then not to mention the development of their younger guys. Like, it feels like Luis Matos shouldn't be playing center field. He's a corner outfielder. He's not that. Casey Schmidt playing short is a weird decision, even though he's been great. Casey Schmidt's normally a third baseman. But you signed Matt Chapman to a 1-year deal, so it's pretty clear you don't have trust in him to play full time there. I really don't know. There's just so much that goes into it, and nothing has materialized from those early minor league systems that were among the top in baseball.
One thing is very clear, though. You have watched way more A's baseball than I have this season. I have no idea who the hell you're talking about.
You don't know who Mason Miller is?
Dude, I've been so turned off that it's just hard for me to watch these days.
Well, watch Mason Miller. The guy throws like 103.
I will. I'm going to head to the Coliseum one of these days. Evan, our good buddy, wants to watch a game, so I will be there begrudgingly.
Well, like, just watch Mason Miller pitch. Just watch a video. Watch a highlight video.
I will, Steven. I will.
They were undefeated when going to those two guys, but now the A's are kind of stinking it up. So they're back to reality. I think they've lost like 8 of the last 10 or something.
Jesus.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Is that bad now?
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's bound to happen. Before we get out of here, there's something coming up this weekend that me and Steven love, and it's near and dear to our heart. We do it every year. It is the Oakland Greek Festival, happening this weekend, May 17th through the 19th, over at the Greek Orthodox Church in Oakland. 4700 Lincoln Avenue. Come through. It's a great time. Love it. Me and Steven and our old 95.7 gang meet up every year. It's a great time. You guys should come out. Anna Kakarakis used to be a part of it. She'll be there, though. She always comes through with her and her husband, Paul, and they have a good time, and it's always a great time. So everybody should come out to that. It's fun. But Steven, maybe breaking tradition this year. Tell your situation this Saturday. We're all going this Saturday. What's the dealio?
So I'll be going to the beach, to Santa Cruz, for my nephew's 4th birthday. Even though it's past, his birthday was on, I believe, the 10th. The what? It was the 10th, right? Oh, I thought you were.
I was about to say.
I thought you were correcting me. All right. Yeah. It's the 10th. That was his actual birthday. We were supposed to go to Santa Cruz the Saturday before, but it was raining. So they had to move it to May 18th. So I'm going to that. So consider me questionable for Saturday night.
Okay. And this is your brother Ian's son?
Correct.
Okay. The birthday is already passed?
Yes.
Okay. This is where I'm going to get Larry David on this thing. Then why even have the celebration? It's past.
Because he's 4 years old.
Okay, but what's your nephew's name?
Anthony.
Does Anthony even care about going to the Santa Cruz beach? Could you take him anywhere? He's 4 years old.
I don't know.
All right. You won't say it, but I will. I'm calling out Ian. Ian, what the hell are you doing here, man? I know you listen to this podcast. Let Steven come to the Greek Fest. What the hell are we doing here?
It's going to be like a party. It's not just like, hey, me and Jesse are going down just to meet the family. Like it's a big thing.
It's a full-on party with Anthony and all of his big friends at 4 years old.
Right, it is just family that is going to be there mostly. But I don't know. They like Santa Cruz, so we're going.
This sounds like your brother and his wife just like going to Santa Cruz, and they're disguising it as a 4-year-old's birthday party.
I mean, that's what they all do. That's what all the parents of the younger children do. They got all these birthday parties together, but really, it's like the birthday parties for like 1 or 2 year olds. It's like the 2-year-old doesn't even know.
Yeah,
like the 2-year-old has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, it's like that Jim Gaffigan joke where he was like, a lot of people don't like going to kids' birthday parties. I do. I'm that one guy with no kids being like, that looks like good cake.
Yeah.
Steven, you got to come through. I know it'll be a long day, but go ahead and do this ridiculous 4-year-old birthday party at Santa Cruz and then get your ass over to Oakland.
I know, but I don't like being late to that thing. I like to get there early, drink some of the mitos, drink a little bit of the wine, get some euros in me, get a little lucamares, get the Spanish.
Okay, this thing goes on for a while, so you got plenty of time.
You know, I got to say this. Our Greek Fest knowledge, Jesse and my Greek Fest, because she went there last year or
And
2 years
Jessie
ago.
always 2 years in a row. She loves going to Greek Fest.
Yeah, that's right. It was 2 years in a row, right? 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row, or were
2
you
years
there
in a
last
row.
year?
I will confirm.
We skipped the year before that because we got, or no.
We went, and I
and then
got
we got COVID.
I got COVID the first one. Yeah. I
You
got
were there.
I thought I got all you guys COVID. But we put our Greek Fest knowledge to good use when we went to OPA, because we got a little gift card, I think it was like for Christmas or something like that. My mom gave us a gift card. So we went to OPA, the Greek restaurant, pretty well-known Greek restaurant around the
Or as
bay.
Bonte calls it, OPA.
I hadn't heard that. Did you really call it that?
Oh, you remember the reads he used to do back in the day? It was Bonte for the Greek Festival. He was like, hey, this is Bonte Hill. And come out to the Oakland Greek Festival. OPA.
I never heard that.
Yeah.
That's so good. Oh man, I needed that. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so we put our Greek Fest Greek knowledge to the test at OPA, and we ordered. Guess what we ordered?
Spanakopita?
No. We didn't order any. We didn't order any spinach. We didn't order the donuts. Think about something that we really like at the Greek Fest.
I mean,
that
like it
literally
all.
requires them to yell OPA.
Oh, with the fried cheese, but
Yes.
isn't that the lucamates?
No, those are the donuts. We are
Oh.
talking Saganaki.
Saganaki.
Dude, the amount of people staring when we got the Saganaki, and we were here in Walnut Creek, so all the white people are like, "Ooh, that's on fire! Can we eat that?"
Yeah, man. No, Greek Fest is a good time, and yeah, Ernie, OPA, Sagana, which not to be confused with my dad's nickname for Draymond Green, Saganasty. Ernie in the chat here says, "Why not go Sunday, Derek?" Because every year, Ernie, we go on Saturday. It's tradition. I'm not going to explain it again. Steven, just get over there when you can.
All right.
All right.
OPA. I'm not gonna get over that, dude.
Oh yeah. We had to record those a
beer.
couple times. And I encourage everybody to come out to the Oakland Greek Festival. It's a great time. It's fun, great music. I will say, if they usually have the TVs going, and in years past when the Warriors were playing, they would have it on. But they'll usually have the NBA playoffs going on. I think it's going to be Mavericks, Thunder on Saturday. And by the way, the Mavericks just won, so they're up 3-2 in that series. They can close out the series on Saturday. But in years past, they would always put the game on in the background, and they always have live Greek music, which is a good time. But when the Warriors were playing, I was so into the game that I kind of wanted to hear the play-by-play. So I would scream, "Turn the sound on! We don't need to hear this Greek festival music." And I was the only one saying that, and people get mad at me. But hey, I kind of want to hear the play-by-play sometimes.
Yeah, you were the only one. I mean, people were locked in at some points, but man,
It's a Warriors playoff game, damn it.
One of the last ones we watched there, though, was I think it was like Warriors Blazers, where Draymond went off.
Yeah,
he went off.
That
like
was
20 plus points or something. He was just dominant. I think it was.
I remember that well.
Was that the game Myers Leonard?
Yes, I was just about to say that.
30 was that game?
Yes, he didn't miss. He was shooting a bunch of threes, and that was when it was still the three-man booth of Mike Breen, Jeff Van Gundy, and Mark Jackson. And Jeff Van Gundy the whole time was like, "Come on, you gonna bang him? Give him a bang." And Mike Breen's like, "I only bang on certain occasions, Jeff." And like Mark Jackson's like, "You guys need Jesus." But yeah, Myers Leonard, who he was the guy playing Call of Duty. Let's slip.
Yeah.
The anti-Semitic stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was on that night.
Yes, he
but
was.
I haven't seen much of him since.
No. He came out. He said he was going to talk to the appropriate people, get some counseling, learn his lesson, and no one has heard from him.
Yeah, he never took up Julian Edelman on that nice Holocaust exhibit.
That's right, Julian Edelman.
Yeah. Come on.
Jesus.
But yeah, I'm
So
hoping
maybe
that. All right. Well, hopefully we'll see you there, and hopefully they have the sound on for whatever game they play.
Yeah. Also, Anna it came in from the top rope because she texted us in that group chat, and that's when I first put it out there that I was not going to be able to make it, and Anna just with a little dig saying that I was like when I told her like, yeah, my family doesn't really want me there, or they only want Jesse, and then Anna's like, smart family. God damn, I thought it was you. Like,
no, man.
I see Anna Cags 95.7 on the top of the contact. I was like, oh my God, Anna. Brutal.
Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. She could be sweet, but she could also go to have a nice zinger.
Mm-hmm. A little sour.
Yeah.
OPA.
OPA, baby. All right, Steven. That's all I got for tonight. Anything else?
Just OPA.
OPA, baby. Sunday, we will probably be a little hungover from Greek Festival, but we will still power through to this podcast. And we got a lot to talk about. A lot of stuff we didn't get to today. We'll get to it all next podcast. John Gruden didn't win his case. Oof. Doug Gottlieb gonna coach a college basketball team and do his radio show at the same time. The hell? Tom Brady regretting already doing the roast 2 weeks after the fact. Yeah. A lot of stuff we didn't get to today, but we'll get to it next podcast.
Harrison Butker thinks women should stay in the kitchen?
Yeah, we'll save that for Jackass of the Week.
Mm-hmm.
All right. On that note, thanks to everybody in the chat. The Ernie's, AJ Cruz came in late, but I see Tacky just going on a tirade here in the chat. Otis Bird is the word. What's up, man? Is that everybody? I saw that Skills was here for a little while. He went off on Bleacher Report. He really doesn't like those guys. And then there's Jesse. And I think that's it. All right, man. See you Sunday, guys. Steven, say what you always say.
OPA.